For those unaware, I've been in the crochet doll scene for quite a while now. I've been working on doing commissions since I would say like September of 2023. Mainly I've been doing these things for friends, but I am seeking to expand my horizons. When it comes to YouTube, I feel making dolls over and over again with no variety will grow really stale. So I think I have a way to help both problems. In this video, I'll be talking about some commissions and various gifts I have made over the past few months, mainly ranging from July 2024 when I opened my Etsy more to now. I think this will be a nice way to kick off the new year, looking at years past and discussing some projects I've done off screen. Also, maybe I'm just shameless and want to plug my Etsy. You don't know that. Don't judge me. Hey y'all, my name is Biscuit and welcome to my channel, Binky and Biscuit. Like I've stated, today instead of making a new project, we're going to be peering behind the curtains to talk about projects I've done recently. These are projects I have either done before YouTube or simply just didn't record the process of. I'll be going over 3 in total. I'll be talking about what each one of them is made out of, the history behind each doll, and when it was made. Most of these were commissions I have received. I do have one that was a Secret Santa gift in a Discord server I'm part of with friends. Regardless, they each require as much attention and care as any other doll I would make for a video would need, so why not use them for content in a different way? So with my idea for this video established, let's get on to the first project. The first doll I'd like to go over is a doll I've made of Marina Lily from Turtlehead Unmasked. She was made in July of 2024 as part of my first Etsy commission from my friend Kit. So thank you, Kit, for giving me my first ever sale there. She's about 13 inches tall, a little short for the dolls I've made recently, but also I haven't made recent adjustments to my pattern at this point. She's made from primarily basic stitch yarn by Lion's Brand. What colors I use specifically, I'm not actually sure. I didn't quite document my dolls as well as I do now back when she was made. As for what she's from, Turtlehead Unmasked is an indie puzzle game made in 2021. It's a fan remaster of a game called Turtlehead, which was created by YouTuber Picaspri. Unmasked, though, expands on the game by adding new characters, reworked puzzles, and more in-depth character interactions, as well as including a new visual style that's unique to that game. God, it's so strange talking about Unmasked like this in retrospect, because I was actually the lead developer on that project when I was in my senior year of high school. The game is still really close to my heart, despite it approaching 4 years old. God, time flies. And I definitely feel like my character writing holds up pretty okay to what I can do now. Although keep in mind I was a teenager, so there are some flaws. I did most of the writing, background assets, character sprites, and coding for the remaster. I did some art here and there too, and some puzzles, but admittedly those are kind of my weaker contributions to the game. Marina specifically as a character is a really weird case, because spoilers, in the original game she already died when you found her. She was just kind of a corpse you found. You read her diary which shows you how she died, but she doesn't really have much to her character other than being dead. In Unmasked, I try to give her a different role, more personality as a cool laid-back type of girl, who guides the protagonist when she needs her help. When the game had a larger community, she was totally a fan favorite. So Marina is pretty dear to me as a character because she's pretty much one I built from scratch. Though, technically I don't really want to claim ownership, because at the end of the day, she was made by the original creator Picaspri. She's kind of my character in spirit instead of technicality, if that makes sense at all. So being commissioned to make a character that's so important to me really meant a lot. Also being able to see her in a physical medium like crochet was also really cool. So thanks again for the commission, Kit. As for the making of this doll, unfortunately I don't remember much. Like I said, she was made before I documented my doll making process very heavily, and as a girly with a nightmare of a short-term memory, I sadly don't have much to say about it. I just remember this project coming along very slowly because of the hair. Surprise, surprise, I know. In the end, I feel like I could have done better now, obviously, but I still like how she came out. I'll rate this doll a 7 out of 10. The second doll I'll be discussing is the character 00, from the comic that is also named 00. He was a commission from my closest friend Stephanie as part of a birthday gift for her boyfriend. He clocked in at about 16 inches, which yeah, is a little bit big. I accidentally made his legs a little too long, but I think he pulls it off. Just makes him really tall compared to my other projects. I made him in the month of November, finishing him up on December 1st actually. I made him from a mix of yarns, mostly impeccable solids from Michaels, and yarn-based soft and sleek from Hobby Lobby. But I also cut some felt for the pieces I didn't crochet. I can't say a specific brand I used for that. To be honest, I just had one of those multi-packs you get from Amazon for like 10 bucks, and that worked fine enough. As for what he's from, the 00 comic doesn't actually have a public release yet, so I can't really say much about it without spoiling the story. A quick synopsis though is that the story follows the hero 00 and his daily hijinks that banish vanishing strange evils in his various marketing gigs. It's mainly a comedy series that I've had the pleasure of beta reading. I'll definitely give it a look when it's public. I'll link it in the description when it is. Stephanie's boyfriend Zach is actually the author of the comic. I enjoy his work a lot, and he is a dear friend of mine too, so getting commissioned to make his little goober was a fun experience. As for the making of this doll, I had a very difficult time with how I wanted to approach it. I mean, I'm sure you can tell, he's very obviously out of my usual style of doll making. I tried to go for a mixed media type of approach to this project. See, Zach's style has a lot of sharp edges and striking angles to it, something that's inherently adverse to the nature of crochet, which is mostly about circles and maybe a rounded square here and there. So I wanted to pull in some of those details using felt, which I can cut to a point. I feel like the way I approached this doll was very successful in the end, at least. Yeah, I could have done better in a few parts, but I think I did a good job of blending the two materials. I would like it more if his face was less bulbous, and maybe I got some better pictures of him, but those are minor critiques. The photo shoot I did for this doll was kind of funny. It was like 12 degrees outside at like 10 p.m. I was in the middle of a park shining my ring light. I probably looked kind of insane to the neighbors, but hey, who's judging? I wasn't able to get many photos myself because I was so cold and that messes with my asthma, so oh well. Thank you, Zach, for letting me use the pictures that you took as well. Overall, a decent result for a very challenging project in many aspects. Another 7 out of 10. The final doll I'd like to go over today is not a commission, but a Christmas gift as part of a Secret Santa event. Every year, a Discord server that has a lot of my friends in it hosts this event. It's full of artists who go full out on a project for the person that was randomly selected for them. This is the first year I decided to do a crochet project for mine, and the person I got was my friend Lyra Ruji. On his wish list, he put a few characters, but I chose to make his character Kaori, who is the protagonist of his project Lilo. I'll talk more about it later. She clocked in to be about 14.5 inches, about average for me. She began production in mid-December and finished the first day of 2025. The Secret Santa's deadline was the 6th, though I made it with time to spare. Yippee! I made her mostly from one type of yarn, which is Amigo XL from Hobie. I wanted her colors to be very bright and vibrant, so Hobie seemed to be the easiest choice. I used a little bit of basic stitch, but that's mainly for the shoes and embroidery work on her face. Also, just wanted to mention I got a little yarn ball winder for Christmas, which helped a ton with this project. For what she's from, Lilo is an indie RPG project made by my friend, as I mentioned. It's about Kaori taking the Oracle Express on a journey through the stars. There's not much I could really say about it since it's still in development, and I don't want to say something wrong or that's going to be changed. But what I can share is that a while back I was playing a little combat test he made, and the game looks truly stunning. I can't overstate that enough. I'm so excited to see the finished project, and I will link the game page in the description. Regardless, as for the making of this doll, I had a bit of difficulty actually. Between the holidays, working retail, and prepping for a vacation in mid-January, I was really struggling to get this doll done, but I really wanted to crochet something for this year, so I pushed it. Luckily, Kaori is a really simple character design, so I was able to manage. I had trouble getting her hair to look how I wanted it to, and even on the final doll I think you can tell. It's so funny because on the last doll I bragged about how easily the hair came together, but on this one it was a really long and annoying process. My battle with doll hair continues, folks. In the end, I feel like the hair is probably the worst part of the doll, but it didn't come out too bad, so not worth complaining about. The photo shoot for this doll was a bit funny because I did it the day after a huge thunderstorm in my town, so the park I went to was wet and covered in mud. That doesn't mesh well with a light colored doll, I know. I was really careful not to drop her and ruin all my hard work. I am really happy with how these photos came out though. I feel like they show off her personality really good. Everything around this doll went pretty well, I would say. I love her colors and her expression and just her whole vibe. For a final score, I would give Kaori an 8 out of 10. Well, that's all I wanted to show off for this video. I have more commissions I've done in the past, but I feel like those weren't their own video. They're a bit older, and I would approach how I talk about them differently because the process I went through was different. So let me know if you're interested in me doing another video like this for those. In the end, 2024 was such a great year for me creatively with my crochet work. It really makes me happy how much I've improved. Also, this hobby totally took over my life in the past year, so let's keep the fire burning into 2025. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye now!